Prime Minister Modi came back to power in May 2019 on the plank of development. However, several worrying global index and reports released since then have raised questions on the BJP government. Here are some of the shocking reports that the Modi government has failed to acknowledge so far. Well, to begin with, the Social Mobility Index, or the rank that was recently released, has put India at the 76th spot out of 82 countries on the Social Mobility Index compiled by the World Economic Forum. The rank is a measure of the country's effort in creating society where every person has equal opportunity, irrespective of their socio-economic background. Now, India has been dropped 10 places to 51 in the Democracy Index for the first time in 2019, according to the latest report released by the Economist Intelligence Unit. This is the lowest that India has been ranked since 2006. The report blamed erosion of civil liberties on the downfall of India's ranking. The report also highlighted concerns over the abrogation of Article 370, the NRC in Assam, and the nationwide protest against the CAA. The latest Oxfam report that was released shows India's richest 1% hold 4 times the wealth held by the bottom 70% of the country's population. It revealed that the wealth of 63 Indian billionaires is higher than the total union budget for the fiscal year 2018-2019. Now, according to the Corruption Perception Index, India has slipped 2 spots to 78 when compared to the previous year. The report analyzed public sector corruption in 180 countries, and India scored 41 out of 100. Which remains constant, pointing to very little improvement in tackling corruption. Let's now talk about the economy. The government has taken the worst hit in economy in 2019-2020. The government downgraded its own economic growth projection to 5%, an 11-year low as compared to 6.8% last year. The IMF, or the International Monetary Fund, also revised India's growth projection to a lower of 4.8% in 2019-2020. The impact of the slowdown has been to such an extent that the IMF blamed India for a lowered global growth forecast by up to 80%. Unemployment. The government's data pegged the unemployment rate in India for the 2017-2018 year at 6.1%, a 45-year high. The story was first reported by a newspaper, but the government at the time rejected the data, calling it baseless and false. Consumer spending in India has declined for the first time in more than 4 decades in 2018, owing to a falling demand. As per a leaked NSO report, the spending was down by 3.7%. The government decided not to officially release the survey, citing problems with data quality. According to a US survey, India is among the top 25 countries to live in 2020. However, not a very safe place for women or not an ideal nation to raise children. Here are some other shocking figures that only puts a big question mark on the future of the country. Around 10,300 farmers and agricultural laborers committed suicide in 2018. India stands at 140th place in the Press Freedom Index among 180 countries in 2019. Now, 8.8 lakh children under the age of 5 died in India in 2018, highest in the world. India slipped from 95th rank in 2010 to 102nd in 2019 hunger rankings. 71,500 crore worth of bank frauds were detected till now in the financial year, highest ever. India also houses, remember, 15 of the 20 most polluted cities in the world. So no matter how much our beloved Prime Minister reiterates that all is well, the facts and figures are contrary to that claim.